Welcome everyone. I know it's been a while. Let me reduce this volume like that. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to show you on how to make this mermaid skirt. If this is something you wanted to make, this is the right tutorial for you. So first thing, I have my paper, my drafting paper. You always need your drafting paper, okay? And your waist measurement, your hip measurement, and the length of the skirt, the nail line, of course, don't forget the nail line. So my paper here is quite very straight, as you can see. Uh-huh. It's very, very straight, so we're just going to go ahead and use this. First thing what you want us to do is to go ahead now. This is where you consider this as your waistline. So I'm just going to mark from the waist to the hip there, right? So we're doing from the waist to the hip there, from the waist to the nail line of this. So I'm going to be using 10" for the nail line, and for the waist, from the waist to the line of this, I'm going to be using what I have here, like this. So I'm going to be using 16". So after doing those part up, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead and connecting them up with the straight line, right? So, sorry, I want to keep this up, so you have to just follow it up. So I'm just going to roll lines up. I've rolled the hemline, knee line, the hip line, and the hip line, sorry. And here possible we have the waistline. So what we're going to do is to take the round waist divided by 4. For this project, always remember that your pattern is being folded, or your fabric is being folded into 2. So I'm going to use 5" for the round waist divided by 4. Consider that my round waist is 20, divided by 4 is going to give me 5". I will mark that up. I will come on the hip depth line. I will divide the round hip divided by 2. Consider that my hip is, let's just say, 24. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just consider that my hip is 24 divided by 4. Yeah. We're going to do 6.5. So just go ahead and do this up. Let me know if you do this in time, but you can easily do this up like this. Pip. And come here and do this up like this. So automatically we have 12 and like you did 12". No. Yeah. Let's make it 26. So we'll be able to have 6.5, 26. I'm going to mark that up. Now at this point, what you want to do is to whatever you have, you're using the normal inch. You have to go ahead and minus 2" from there, because you want the knee to be fitted, okay? And one thing I do not mention at this part is when you are actually marking the knee line, you don't mark it directly on the knee line. You normally go up by 2". So automatically what I have here, I've gone up by 2". Okay? You don't want to make it be on the knee line. You want to make it be on top of the knee line, so that you'll be able to work freely. So what I have there is 6.5". I'm going to go ahead and minus 1". But you're working on normal tutorial, do 2". Okay. Now this is what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to go ahead and just connect this part up like this, like this. See, then when I have to come here like this and do this part, but making sure that it is not really straight. You want to go ahead. There is nothing looking funny right there. So this is what we have right here, as you can see, right? This is what we have. So you want to kind of just blend this part up. You don't want it to be sharp, but instead you want it to look nice. So now what we're going to do is simply we want to come here and measure out whatever we have from this point on the on the hip line, and we're going to transfer it up to the hem line, which is 6.5". I'm going to come here like this and mark that 6.5. Come here and mark it off. Now, you want to decide if you're going to be adding it up. You can go ahead and do 1 inch. But remember that your fabric is on the fold. Okay, so I'm going to have to do 1 inch. It's good to go. 1 inch now, and I'm going to go ahead and have to connect it all the way to that point, like this. And then, like so. So now it's good. Now, in case you don't want this part to be sharp, what you're simply going to do is to come here and you're going to go up by 1.5 inch. But for this tutorial, I'm going to just do 3/4 inch, okay? Normally, you should go up by 1.5 inch or 2 inch. Then I have to connect it up like this. This way, it's not going to be sharp at the edge. So, right, so this is it. Like I said, normally you're supposed to go up by 2 inch or 1.5 inch. If you connect it up like this and you cut it, it's going to be sharp. To avoid it from being sharp, go ahead and go up by 2 inch or 1.5 inch. But for this tutorial, I did 3/4 inch. Now, after doing so, what I'm going to do is I have to come here like this. We're going to come here like this. We go in, okay? We're going to go in by 1/2 inch. But normal tutorial do 1 inch so that it should be really fitted at the waist. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect this part up like this, okay? There are so many ways you can get this up. There are so many ways you can make a mummy skirt so that it should be fitted. You see, this way is going to be really fitted. So we're just going to roll a line like this. If you don't want it to be like this, you simply will go ahead and leave it up like it was before, because this is the center front, okay? So you're supposed to fold it into two, all right? If you don't want it, like I said, if you don't want to leave this part up like this. But normally, the first one I did, this part was being like this. If you don't want to minus it up here, you can instead come here and do that 1/2 inch here. Do the 1/2 inch here. Let's just take the example that we did the 1/2 inch here, like this. This is what it's going to be like. More pencil, bring it up like this. The 1/2 inch that we went in, instead of taking it out here, we're going to come here like this and do it up here, like this. Sorry. You see that it's really in and pencil. Like I said, you can do it this way if you want to have jump, but normally that mommy's skirt is not supposed to have. I'm checking if I'm cutting the two pieces. It's not supposed to have jump. So what I'm going to simply do is just to go ahead and cut this off. Like this. And you can see that here is really pointed. That is why I was saying that you have to blend it up so that it should not be pointed. Now, before we go ahead to continue with the other part, what I want to do here is the front pattern. What we always do is to come down here by 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. You can do 1/2 inch, 1 inch. 1 inch. Okay, let me just say 1 inch. Me, I'm doing 1/2 inch because of the pattern I'm using. 1 inch. Then you simply go ahead and cut this part off. Okay, now that we have this part off, the next thing I want to do is just to go ahead now and place this up like this. We're placing it up like this on another piece. As you can see on the pattern. Now, what I'm going to do is, first of all, as you can see, the rest of the part is going to be the same except of this part here. You can extend it up. So I'm going to have to just come here like this and make sure that this part here is, the line there is as straight as possible. And I profit the sides here. Alright, so First of all, let me go ahead again. You can pin it up, but I'm not going to be pinning. So I'm just going to have to go ahead and trace this part up like that, all the way to this point. Even though I have come like this, sorry, I'm going to have to shift this a little bit. So follow up the line, just follow up the shape of our skirt and trace that up like this. So this is going to be for the back. Okay. Now that we are done tracing that part, we're going to come here like this and just draw a line up and draw another line up on the waistline and draw on the knee line, and on the hemline we're going to draw a straight line. Now that we are done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is to come here like this on the waistline. Normally we do 1 inch, okay, but for this which I'm going to be doing ½ inch. On the waistline, normally on a normal pattern we do 1 inch. On the hip line we always do 1.5 inch, okay, but for this which I'm doing 1 inch. On the knee line I'm going to do ½ inch as well. First of all, let's go ahead now and connect the points up like this. Why do we always connect this part of this the hip line? That's because the hip line, if you notice, we went out by 1 inch. You always do 1.5 inch. That's because you want the ball to be able to sit well, okay, at the back. Alright? So that's just the reason of adding it, and know that you have to add up your zipper lines. So now that I have this part up here, now you want to be able to extend it all the way you want. You can do, from here what I have is about, what I have there, what I have here is, let's just say 5 inch. No, what I have there is 3.075, almost 4 inch, but not 4 inch. I'm going to extend it. You can go up to 10 inch depending on how flow you want it to be at the back, okay? So I've just done here, I've done 3.075. Now this is what we're going to do. Just go ahead and connect it up like this from here. You see what I've just done, right? Connect it up like this, or you can choose to connect it straight up like this. Therefore, if you do it straight up like this, you really need a lot of fabric. So what I'm going to do is, at this point, I'm going to have to come down here a little bit. So what I'm supposed to do here is, you can either do this, measure of whatever I have from here to here, which is 6, which is 5.075, and come here, you're going to mark that at 5.075. You want to make sure that whatever you should have, if you check here, what I have there is not the same. What I have here is not the same like this part, because this is going to be the center part, the center front, okay? So remember that this part here, you're cutting it on full. So normally, you can choose to measure from here to here so that the length should be the same. Measure it up, then you're going to transfer it up here, alright? Okay, I hope that part is clear. So, like I said, I'm going to be using whatever I have here. You can extend it up. What I have here is about 7.025. Okay, I'm going to have to come here and also mark that 7.025 from here. 7.025. Now, we're going to come from this pass. Once you just go ahead and give the curve. We're just going to go ahead, or the easiest thing for you to do is just to come at this part. This part here, you mark 1 inch. What I have there is not up to 1 inch, but you can mark 1 inch. You can do 2 inch, whatever. Alright, you can do 2 inch, you can do 3 inch, depending on how you want it to be at the back. So we just connected it on. Remember, this part that we are doing now is the back, not the front. So I'm going to have to mark this point. Mark it up like that. So now we are done doing so, we have to go ahead and just connect this point. So you want to start connecting it off from here, from this angle. So just like this, okay? Like this, make sure that you match up the points together. This way the back will be able to flow well behind, right? So remember, from this part, and just go ahead and connect that part all the way to the end. All the way to the end. Now I'm going to go ahead now and connect this part up from here all the way to this other end. You see what I've just done, right? You see? Now I have my front and I have my back. So remember I have to really trace up the back of it. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut up the edges. Like this. I have a tutorial on my tutorial on my YouTube channel, and it's a handmade version. So now that we are doing this exercise, so you can see you add the front and the back seams is going to be matching up right there. And then this part should match up. You can see the back of the skirt and you can see the front of the skirt. So this is the front of the skirt and here is the back of the skirt. You see, this is it. So that's just all on how you can go ahead and make a mermaid skirt. Like I said, you can choose to make it straight at the back, so it should be more full, depending on the fabric you are also working on. I hope you find this tutorial helpful. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and share. I hope to see you some other time. Bye bye.